AMD launched the first chips based on its new Zen architecture this year, and so far we've seen a whole bunch of options, ranging from entry-level Ryzen 3 processors to the company's high-end Ryzen Threadripper chips with support for up to 16 CPU cores and 32 threads. But all of the Ryzen chips launched to date have a few things in common. They're desktop processors, and they're designed to be used with a separate graphics card, since they don't have integrated graphics. AMD plans to launch a line of Ryzen mobile chips with integrated graphics aimed at laptops by the end of the year. We got an early look at some details earlier this year thanks to a series of leaks, and now some benchmark results give us an even better idea of what to expect. Formerly codenamed Raven Ridge, Ryzen mobile chips will be part of AMD's APU or Accelerated Processing Unit family, and the Ryzen 5 2500U is expected to be a 4-core 8-thread processor with AMD Radeon Vega graphics. A listing at Geekbench seems to confirm those specs, and an image posted to Reddit seems to suggest that the chip is showing up in 3D Mark 11 benchmark results as well. I'd take the actual benchmark scores with a grain of salt, since we're talking about unreleased products. But at this point it looks like the Ryzen 5 mobile chip outperforms a Core i7-7660U Kaby Lake processor with Intel Iris Plus 640 graphics in 3D Mark 11. It's not easy to crown a clear winner in a Geekbench comparison. AMD's chip seems to outperform Intel's Core i5-7200U and Core i7-7500U chips based on 7th Egen core technology when it comes to multi-core performance. But that's hardly surprising, since the quad-core Ryzen 5 2500U has twice as many CPU cores as those Intel chips. Single-core performance scores put AMD's Raven Ridge chip on par with Intel's Core i5-7200U. Those aren't Intel's newest chips though. The new 8th Egen Kaby Lake refresh chips, including the Intel Core i5-8250U and Core i7-8550U, are quad-core chips that seem to best the RAEN Ridge chip in both single-core and multi-core performance, according to Geekbench. Again, there's no telling how accurate these test results are at this point, since it's an unreleased chip. And the name suggests it may not be the most powerful processors in the Ryzen mobile lineup. A Geekbench listing from August shows that there may also be a Ryzen 7 2700U processor on the way, but there's something a bit fishy about that page, since the chip allegedly has a higher clock speed than the Ryzen 5 2500U, but scores lower in both single and multi-core tests. It's unclear how many different models AMD plans to launch, but I suspect the Ryzen 5 2500U is just one of several if the company wants to compete with Intel in the laptop space. It makes sense for there to be alternatives to Intel's Core i3, Core i5, and Core i7 chips. Oh, and one more fun fact from the Geekbench results: it looks like someone is running the test on at least 2 different systems feature Ryzen 5 2500U chips, a Windows 64-bit machine with a motherboard called AMD Mandolin, a 32-bit Android system with a board called AMD Tambourine via Guru 3D.